Hello there, crypto family. Nicola here from Conscious Crypto Traders, and once again I'm not able to go live. I'm waiting on a part for my laptop, but I think it's really important where we're at in the markets right now. There's a lot of FUD, there's a lot of FOMO in the markets right now, so I want to start today by taking a big macro look where we are and where we could go in the next couple of days, so that you've got the right mindset on if you're buying and selling cryptos. And I also want to look at some speculation as we have been following the moon phases and what have you. We're moving into retrograde season, and that usually means that we start to find the bottom, and I don't think it's as low as everybody thinks it is. I think that in the next 4 months we've got great opportunities for accumulating and doing really well, even though it's going to be very volatile, especially in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks actually. And I would even say all the way through to September, October. But when we're trading in a range, you can buy the dip and sell the top. Buy the dip, sell the top, right? And that way you can accumulate a lot of cryptos, make a lot of money when you have the right strategy. So if all that sounds interesting, we will niche down and have a look at what's going on right now in the 1 hour and the 4 hour as well. But that sounds interesting. Please like this video if you're new to the channel. We are a tutorial channel. We are a little bit more spiritual and conscious in our approach. I have a background, used to work in the stock market, which is where I learnt technical analysis and charting, and then segued into the crypto market. It is a hobby of mine, which I really enjoy, and I share this channel with Teresa, who uploads tutorial videos teaching you technical analysis. So if that sounds interesting, you want to get informed and you want to follow us with that extra special bent that we have, using spirituality, using spiritual principles, using consciousness and astrology, we definitely would love you to be part of our community, part of our family. So hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and hit all, so that you get notified when we upload videos and when we go back to being live again, because I think there's going to be some amazing opportunities. So before I get into the charts, two quick announcements. Number one is I'm doing a live masterclass next week. Link is below, looking at strategies for the next 4 months, because the next 4 months could determine whether or not you become a millionaire or a multi-millionaire in the crypto space. That potential is there as we're coming up to the Saturn retrograde 4th of June. I'll tell you a little bit about why in a moment, when we go into the technical analysis and we start bringing in some of our indicators. And that's not announcement number one, so the link is below. Announcement number two is for those of you interested in learning more and being part of a team, being part of a family to help you not make mistakes, make the right decisions, make better decisions. Then we would love for you to join the Crypto Ninjas Mastermind, which is my private mastermind group. And at the moment, there's a coupon below where you can get a substantial discount till the end of this month, which ends, I believe, on Saturday, or is it Sunday? January, February, March, April, Saturday. I had to do that knuckle thing. So yes, I'm conserving energy. So sorry I'm not in front of the camera right now, just because my computer, I'm on my second computer and it doesn't have as much power. So I wanted to make sure that the information is the most important thing, because where are we at? We have been saying new moons, we usually pump into the new moon and then it's followed by a dump. It can happen on the new moon or the day before the new moon, sometimes even a couple of days before the new moon. And we have a new moon coming up on April the 30th, which is Saturday. Also, Pluto retrograde is very interesting. On Pluto retrograde, sometimes we get a little bit of a pump up into a new moon if it is conjunct with a new moon. And so I would look at that and I would go, okay, interesting timing, because let's have a look at what's going on in the S&P 500. We got a bounce, a bot. We got a bounce, look. We had a beautiful bounce. Here we broke down from this upward trending channel where it was resistance down here, support here, didn't even come anywhere down here because we were just so overbought, and we were overdue for a correction, in my opinion. Came back down, got rejected off of here, bounced hard, and we've created a higher low, and we've got a bounce. Now, usually in the stock market, when we get a bounce off a key support area, we could see a 50% retrace up to the top here. So that would suggest that pump. That would suggest that we're going up and we're going to create a higher high, because now on the stock market we do have a higher high and a higher low. So we're now trending in an upward channel, right? So this is why this is important, guys. So many people are saying we're going into the abyss. Bitcoin's going to 13,000. Bitcoin's going to 24,000, 22,000. And I want you to have a look at the setup of what is going on the charts, because this new moon may not be the big dump that we are expecting, so don't get too trigger happy with your shorts, okay? We've got a bounce on the stock market, which is why across the board we've had a bit of a rally in the coins. I mean, look at this. Bitcoin is up at 39,188. So let's focus on Bitcoin for now. Here we are. We're in a downward channel. This is a bullish pattern. We break to the upside more than we break to the downside, probably about 85% chance break to the upside, taking us up to 48,000, right? Approximately 48,000, 48,095. We're coming up to the resistance area at the same time that we're coming up to a new moon. So in the next 3 days, today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even going into Saturday, it's possible we could break out here and come up to 42,000, 44,000 or 48,000 before we retrace back down for a new moon. So if we do that, a new moon dump, right? We pump into the new moon. Have a look at this. Pump into the new moon and then we dump. Here it is here. Pump into the new moon and then dump. Pumping into the new moon and then dump. Now, the big question is this dump going to be the big one that defines that we are in a bear market? This is what we've been talking about on this channel for over 2 months now. And I have been saying that this turnaround, this new moon to full moon to new moon coming up is defining. It's defining for Bitcoin as to whether or not we are continuing an upward trend, or this next new moon phase will take us down to create a lower low or a double bottom and define that we've missed the top and we're in a bull market, in a bear market. I'm kind of thinking like Willy Woo, we're going to see a triple top to this market before the next halving, and let me show you why. So I'm just speculating here, guys. So we might just come up here. We might actually get rejected here by the new moon. If we don't get up to 40,000 by tomorrow or Friday, I don't think that we will get to 48,000. I think we'll come back down here, maybe hit 35,000 and bounce off here, come back up. It's possible we could come back down to this trajectory, this line here, right, which is 32,399, massive amounts of support between 31,000 and 33,000. So this new moon may not be a big dump. In most new moons, we've had 2 weeks of dumping, unless we're in an upward trend. And when we're in an upward trend, have a look at this. New moon comes up, dumps a little bit, not a lot, and then it just keeps pumping to define that we are still creating higher highs and higher lows. So this is why I'm saying this new moon is going to be very important. The next 2 weeks are going to be really important and very defining. So here's the deal. If the stock market is looking like it could do a 50% pump right around the time that we've got a new moon dump potential, to me that's saying this dump may not be a big one. It may be a small one. However, it could be a big one, and that's what we've got to plan for. You've got to make sure that you've got an A plan and a B plan. But right now, we are in a bullish we are in a bullish situation, right? So if we don't get up above this trending sloping line and you want to short because you love shorting, make sure that you follow the rules, right? Get in, get a confirmation because we've got volume pushing the price down and we've got the RSI is oversold. So it looks like we're going to have a correction and then drive it down. And as I said, the support line is at around about 35,000. If we bring in the Fibonacci levels and let's take it from here, this local bottom to the local top, and totally possible, absolutely possible that we could go to 25,950. My feeling is we won't go down to those lower numbers until we start hitting Saturn retrograde, because Saturn retrograde is usually when we get it defines the bottom. And if any of you follow me on TradingView, you will see that I've done a couple of charts on what happens to the charts in TradingView. A little bit slow here. So you can look me up, the Mission Mentor here, and you can find those charts. And here it is here. The Saturn retrograde this is when Saturn was retrograde. We had the big dump, and then we found the bottom. Boom shakalaka, right? We found the bottom as we come into Saturn retrograde. So that's why I'm kind of I'm on the fence, sitting on the fence on this new moon as to how low we're going to go. The other reason why I'm sitting on the fence is on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of April, there are there are some indicators. I don't know too much about them, but there are indicators that we could get a positive move in the market, which is also giving me an idea that we might not dump quite so low. But also we've got Mercury retrograde on the 10th of May. So instead of getting a 2-week dump period like we often happen after a new moon, the 10th of May Mercury retrograde is a reversal or trading sideways indicator. So if we're going down, Mercury retrograde would suggest that we may be trading sideways before going up, because in the full moon, because full moons we dump into the full moon and then we pump out of them. So these dates are going to be really important to watch. We could come into Mercury retrograde, turn around, come back up, get a final dump just into the full moon, and then between the 10th of May through to the 30th of May, that's when we could get a parabolic run-up to all-time highs if we're going to get it. Otherwise, the parabolic run-up, in my opinion, won't happen till September, October, November this year once we start getting out of retrograde. So I think it's really important to set your expectations, not to be thinking that we're going to the moon, or we're going down to the bottom, we're going into the doldrums. Really, really important, so that you don't make the mistake of using your assumptions to get into trades and then get wrecked, right? Now, here's the reason why I don't think we're going to go below 19,050 to the bottom. If you look at these lines here, this is where I'm circling right here. Oopsie, I'm always doing that. So funny. I need to be here with the chart. Here is the top in 2017, right? We got to the top and then we came back down to a local bottom. The next cycle here, we are here. We don't normally, hang on a second, let's go back down here. 2013, here is the top for the bull market, right? When we came back down and created a lower low in the bear market after the top of the market in 2017, hopefully you're following me, we did not go back down to the top of the previous bull market. So the bear market in front of us does not retrace back down to below where the top of the bull market behind us was. Here's 2017. This is where we topped out. It was around about let's call it 20,000, just under 20,000, right? So all this talk of going to 13,000, 18,000 for Bitcoin, 7,000 for Bitcoin, I don't know if those people are technical analysts because that would change precedent. And you know what? We can always change precedent. We can always have a different pattern than what we've had before. But right now, 20,000 is the kind of like the line in the sand or just under it. The other thing here is we have a very clear support line here that we haven't even come back down to. We are creating higher highs and we are creating higher lows. And ladies and gents and everything in between, or on either side, however you want to say that, that's a bull flag. So look at that. That's a bull flag, and that's going to take us up to over 100,000 for Bitcoin. Now, here's the thing with bull flags. This month or next month, May, is the time that we need to break it, and or we can just keep trading sideways, and then this could be an inverse Bart Simpson, and then we could come back down to these lower levels. So just watch that, right? So I don't want you to be going out there and trading thinking we're going down to such low prices in the next 2 weeks, because with the stock market getting a bounce, if this bounce continues this week and enthusiasm comes in for the stock market, this new moon dump isn't going to be a big one. It can be. So now let's have a look at trades. Let's have a look at trade ideas and trade setups using our new mindset, using our new mentality. So we're going to come down into... the other thing I wanted to show you, hang on, before I do that, the other thing I wanted to show you is that we have on the weekly posted a red candle making 4 red candles in a row. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. At the moment, this candle's red. This week is red, and this week finishes on Sunday. So what's happened in the past is when we've had 4 candles back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we've pumped out of them and created an all-time high. So that supports the theory that I have that this new moon may not be a bigger dump that everybody's expecting. It just may be a normal correction back down to key support levels. Might not even go lower than 37,500, right? We might create a double bottom there and head back up and have a rally to new all-time highs, which means that the parabolic run-up would happen before Saturn retrograde on the 4th of June. So in May, we could see a couple of weeks of fireworks. In the stock market, we always had the saying, sell in May, go away. So usually in May, we get a pretty massive dump, and we have a new moon on the 30th of May. So that's when we could start the massive dump. So we've got a couple of windows to get parabolic run-ups, and if we don't get them, then I think we'll have it in September, October, November. So here's the bottom line. There are indicators that we are going down, and we're going to hit key support at the levels that I've mentioned before. The macro outlook, looking at that stock market bounce that we've just got, is showing us that we could be in for a 50% pump. Now the question is timing. So if you're hodling, I think that, having a look at dollar cost averaging down into the coins that you want to do is what they say is a good idea. Obviously not financial advice, do your own research, yada, yada, yada. But now I can come down into the 4 hourly. If any of you watch Steve at Crypto University, he's charting the death cross that's coming up in May, which is going to be very interesting to see. But death crosses, in my opinion, usually it signifies we've already started dumping, and now we're just going to go into that final dump. So Just watch out for that. Okay, here we are. We are approaching 39,823, and we could go a bit higher, create a lower low here, a lower high here. And if we don't get volume and momentum coming in to break this resistance in the next few days, then that scenario of coming back down here and testing lower support levels will play out. If you are looking to get into a trade right now, it's sit on the sidelines time, in my opinion. You are far better off getting set up for a trade if we break out of here. Just watch out for longs. I wouldn't be putting in longs if you're not already in a long. And if you are in a long, I would just be watching what happens over the next couple of days to see where we top out. And I would, for me personally, I'm going to make sure I'm out of all of my trades by Friday, definitely. Usually I try to do that at the end of the week anyway, so I can have a decent Saturday and not panic. And we may pump on Saturday, new moon. We pump into the new moon and then we dump, and then I'm just going to go, don't care. I just don't want the stress, right? You need to make that decision for yourself what you're going to do. But to me, this is wait on the sidelines. If this turns out to be a bull flag, look at that. Then that's a nice trade up to the resistance there, up to the but that's more of a scalp trade because it's not too big in terms of its reach. Where's that going to take us to? If you're really enjoying this macro perspective, please remember to like the video. Help us push this out to people. Also, you're letting YouTube know that you want to be seeing our videos. Otherwise, they can often get hidden from you. Computer playing out. I can't wait till I get my other one fixed. Anyway, it looks like this is just playing around, but it looks like it's going to touch 40,173, right? So if you're not able to ride your trades out for the big, the big turnaround here that could happen on the new moon as we come into the new moon pump and then dump, you might want to consider, what you're going to do if we hit here and get rejected off of there. We have a very, very strong support, which for me, that's a setup for hitting this, coming back down here to gather momentum and breaking through this, right? So it's possible we could go up to the next Fibonacci level at 41,512 before Friday. And then if we get a whole lot of enthusiasm, obviously we could go all the way up to 48,000. We would need a massive amount of volume and trading to come in at the moment. The one thing I want to leave you with is while there's all of this doom going, we're going to have a big dump, we're going low, we're going to glow. Guys, remember, we've already had a 50% dump from the top. Like, we're in the process of coming down and finding the bottom, in my opinion, and just confirming key support underneath us. And while all this FUD is going on in the retail with all of the bear boys going, oh my goodness, it's going down, and everybody's getting scared and what have you, whales are buying. Go over to on-chain metrics, have a look at what's going on. Whales are buying, they're longing, they're not shorting, right? So that's another thing, and they can always change their mind. They can literally long and go, oh no, I'm going to short now, right? So we just keep watching that. But that's another reason why I'm thinking maybe this new moon won't be the big dump that we've all been expecting. We may get a little bit more juice out of Bitcoin yet to get up to higher realms before we go into Saturn retrograde in June, which is usually when we get those really big dumps down and we start finding the bottom. So love it if you would like this video. Hit subscribe button if you want more of these types of TA. You can have a look at our playlist if you're new to the channel and have a look. We've got tremendous amounts of tutorials on how to use Bybit, Femix, how to use different indicators, how to set your charts up. There's a lot of really good training in there that you can get started with if you are wanting to start trading. And we are not a channel that is telling you what to trade, but we are helping you how to make those decisions for yourself, because you need to become independent. Now I'm just finishing off with bringing in the Ichimoku cloud. Interestingly enough, Ichimoku cloud has a decline on the 29th of April. So that's very, very interesting. That's corresponding with coming into the top of the market. So that's why I said by Friday, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, which is when the daily candle posts in US Mountain Time. That could be wherever the Bitcoin is at that stage, could be the top. We may get a bit more juice above it, but I would be watching out for that. Now let's bring in the 1 hour. And we can see that, again, we've got 27th of April at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We might see a little bit of a retracement, but look at this. The Ichimoku cloud is thinning out here, which means that later on, the resistance is low. So during this time frame here, from about 8 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock in the evening rather, the 27th on US Mountain Time through to the 28th in the morning at 7 a.m, we've got low resistance, and this is the time frame that we might just zoom up and create a breakout from here if we don't do it in the next few hours. It doesn't kind of feel like it. Let's just have one more look at the stock market. Where are we going here? Yeah, and where am I? Yeah, looks like it has hit some resistance. Look at that. That's why there's indecision in the crypto markets. Interesting. Look at that. It's hit some resistance. So it's going to be very interesting close to the day. But if you look at the RSI, right, look, we've got a higher low and we've got a lower low on the price action. That is a bullish divergence. So we could still get some more legs yet, but it looks like indecision, and that we could be trading sideways a bit here for a few hours to create a bull flag before we continue up. Of course, we could always come back down and watch this. If we break below this, then we are looking at $27,000 for Bitcoin, maybe even $22,000, right? So all things considered, trade consciously. Have a look at your plan. If this happens, then this is what you're going to do. And if that happens, that's what you're going to do. Have it written down so that you know what you're going to do, and your head's not going to get in the way, because you've already made your decision when you're clear and when you're thinking, rather than when you're in a state of panic, because we love to talk about mindset on this channel as well. And just a reminder, if you want to join me on Zoom next week for my masterclass, you'll find the link below. And always, if you want to join our beautiful family at Trading Crypto Ninjas, there is a coupon for you below to get a discount for that. So make sure you take advantage of that. We are doing really well with giving you trading signals, buy and sell signals every day across 12 different coins, Bitcoin and 11 altcoins. And we also get together once a week on Zoom so that we can help each other, make sure that you're balancing out your portfolio, following all of the good advice that, traditional financial advisors give you, and getting in there and, making sure that you've got the right strategy. So that's really awesome. Plus there's about a year's worth of technical analysis training in there, so that you become a master at charting, a master at reading the indicators, knowing how to spot trade, knowing how to set yourself up for passive income, knowing how to short the market, knowing how to long the market, what kind of leverage you should be using, and when to up your leverage, when to lower your leverage. There's a year's worth of training there, so you can just take your time to go through that. And by the end of the year, it's kind of like going to university. You should have confidence and proficiency in reading the markets and doing your own technical analysis. So the details for all of that is below. And I will see you next week, hopefully live.